Alright, so this is the Deku Tree cutscene skip that was figured out yesterday by Legend of Link, and it uses the same cutscene canceling technique that was also found by Legend of Link yesterday. So pretty much what's going on here is that this game ticks down health at 1/4 heart per frame, but if you take damage from, say, a bomb in hero mode, the game will take 2 frames to tick the health down to half a heart less of what you had. And also in this game, if you have 0 health, the game will pretty much refuse to play any sort of cutscenes or loading triggers or anything. But because of the 1/4 heart per frame tick down, we can kind of abuse that right here to sort of trick the game into thinking that we're still alive. So as the bomb explodes here, Link's health is going to go down to 1/4 heart, and during this time the game still sort of considers Link to be alive, so it's going to load the Deku Tree cutscene now, because it's like, oh, you have a 1/4 heart and you're still alive. But on the very next frame, we lose that. However, the game's already started its loading process, so it can't stop that. But then, when it loads the Deku Tree cutscene, Link is considered dead, and so he just kind of dies. And yeah, so then you respawn wherever a save warp would put you, and you've successfully skipped the Deku Tree cutscene. So it is important to note that doing this is frame perfect, the bomb explosion, because when your health ticks down, you only have 1 frame to get to that, 1/4 of a heart tick. So you only get 1 chance at it, and it is frame perfect. As far as how much time it saves, the unfortunate part of this is that when you respawn, you end up respawning at Outset in any percent and Windfall in all dungeons. So even though the cutscene's like nearly 2 minutes long, you'll only be saving like maybe 40 to 45 seconds. If you do this, because you have to super swim back here and then climb into Forest Haven again before you can finally get up to the leaf. I know in the video it showed me respawning at Forest Haven, but that's just because I was using a save file that predated the incorporation of manual super swims. So yeah, that's Deku Tree cutscene skip. We have been testing other cutscene skips, or like the potential for other cutscene skips. This does technically work for the cutscenes that come after dungeons. However, if you do it during those cutscenes, you won't obtain, the pearl that comes with watching that cutscene, because you get the pearl mid-cutscene. It's not like Ocarina of Time, where you get the medallion right at the start of the cutscene. So you can do it at the end of dungeons, but it's useless. We also tried on several other cutscenes, one being the medley cutscene where you play the Earth God's lyric for medley. Unfortunately, you can't do it there either, because that cutscene gets started by you pulling out the Wind Waker, and even though you can pull out the Wind Waker while dead, you can't pull it out while you're dead and then activate that part of the cutscene. There's also a frame in between after you play the Wind Waker and before the cutscene begins to fade out, but you're not vulnerable during that frame, so you can't take damage, at least from what I tested. We also tested this on the Tetra to Zelda cutscene, the transformation cutscene in Hyrule 2. Unfortunately, it doesn't work there either. From what we've tested, I don't know, maybe there's something we didn't account for. But because the weird thing about that one is that the trigger for that cutscene is actually another cutscene where the game fades out before the loading towards the cutscene actually takes place. Whereas in the case for Deku Tree cutscene skip, the fade out that you see is the loading fade out into the next cutscene. But Tetra to Zelda has this like weird extra fading cutscene before it, so it's kind of unfortunate. It would have been really nice to skip that cutscene, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. But yeah, so that's it. Bye.